Welcome back to the Tentative Hanger. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. Today I want to talk to you about upcoming Masterpiece releases that I expect to see by the end of this year. And I'm going to be honest that a lot of these say dates between now and the end of the year, and there's really no chances of getting them, but I'm still going to touch on them a little bit. But some of these I feel are 100% ingrained, and we will definitely get these by the end of the year, so we're going to talk about this list. Now, I was wanting to do the back half of the year, and I didn't do that, so this is more of a back quarter of the year. So, or maybe back third. Anyhow, let's get into talking about the upcoming Masterpiece for the rest of 2022. Coming up. Starting out in August with the Fans Toys Aussie. Now, this has been released. Some people have theirs. They made their reviews. I don't have mine yet. I haven't got mine yet. So anyway, some people will still be getting theirs. Some places, some third-party distributors are still getting theirs in, and all that kind of stuff. So it's something to look forward to in August. Now, when it comes to X-Transbots, they say all of these figures here are supposed to be up by August, and we've got a week left, so I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't see it. All these are digital renders. I don't see any actual prototypes or anything like that, so I don't think this is going to happen in August. I don't even know if these will make it by the end of the year, but I do kind of have faith we'll get at least one of these by the end of the year, so I have no idea what month, but I'm kind of excited for any of these that show up in order. I'd like Punch Counter Punch first, and then the Omnibot second. Now, sometime by the end of this month, we're supposed to be seeing the Zeta reissues of their Bruticus, but also, I think they call it Bruticon, and then they have a Dark Superion that's supposed to be putting out, or Dark Superion, or something along those lines. So I think these should be coming. If they don't come by the end of the month, or they don't start arriving then probably sometime next month. Now, of course, a lot of stuff, there are some delays in China and a lot of that kind of stuff. So a lot of the stuff that's so tentative is going to be even delayed further. But it's still kind of fun to look at these. Still kind of fun to know this stuff's still on the way. So we're going to keep trucking through this list. And hopefully there's some stuff on here you didn't even know was getting made. Okay, getting into September, Abaddon by X-Transbots. Now, all we see are some renders. So, I mean, my hopes aren't as high for this one to come out. And then I actually think this other one that they keep saying is going to come in September will actually arrive in September. Now, this next one for September it's their Autobot Spike, but they call it like a Frankenstein or something along those lines. But again, this one doesn't transform, and I think that they're further along on this one. They've been working on this one for a long time, and it would seem like it would be easy to make a non-transforming Transformer, just an action figure. Seems like they could get this one out the gate pretty quick, pretty easy at a $130 price point. So I don't know how many people would be interested in it though. And that's another thing. Do they look at figures and say, well, there's probably not a whole lot of interest in this, so we push this production off and then put something more popular in front of it? I don't know if that's something that they're doing. But again, X-Transbots is full of reissues. I don't know how many of the reissues for different colors and stuff that's going to be coming down the road. And X-Transbots also has their Deathsaurus that they say should be out by September also. I just don't see it happening either, but it's still kind of cool that they're working on this stuff. This might be an example, though, of having too much going on at the same time that we don't get as much out as we'd like to see. So it's one of those things, X-Transbots, when we get to KFC stuff, there's some questions there too. So in October, we're supposed to be getting a Gigapower Gutter, the HQ03 Gutter Metallic version reissue. And the reason I think that they'll probably hit that, or pretty close to that, probably within a month or two, is the fact that they've made these before. These are just reissues that they made before, and that's pretty much all Gigapower does. So with the fact that this is pretty much all Gigapower does, and it's nice they keep these flowing, they keep these showing up, and this is an option out there that you perpetually can get in on versus kind of what's going on with the Fans Toys ones. But I do like these, and I like the Fans Toys ones, so you really can't lose with either one. And KFC is supposed to be putting out their King Zilla, King Gorilla, both of those two in October. So this is another one where there's a reissue. So I could see KFC getting their reissue out on time, October. It's a possibility. It's out there. It's up for pre-order places. So you might want to get your pre-orders in on these. And so the thing about these, the fact that these do look pretty good. And so to get in on them, but they do look slightly different, slightly repainted than the original release. And so they've made the molds before, but now it's different colors, different coloration, all that kind of stuff, which is cool. It's interesting. It makes the first run seem like it was worth a while, and now we get it maybe more tune accurate, no kind of stuff. So still pretty cool, pretty exciting. It feels like the last time I made a list like this, these guys were on it. So did they get bumped back? So the next on the list is the KFC cassettes. Now, these are supposed to be out in October, from what I'm seeing, but again, we still only see digital renders. Take KFC with a grain of salt and X-Transbot with a grain of salt. Still fun that so much is coming out from them. This is their steel jaw and they call it Rhino Horn 2.0. So their second shot at these, they're trying to do these before Fans Toys gets theirs out and MMC gets theirs out. So I really think that's the whole goal, or that's what's sort of going on right here. But it'll be interesting to see how these work out when they come out. I am kind of excited, and I'm curious if they'll actually use die-cast in these. So a lot of cool ideas and things going on there. But will we get them in October? Who knows? So getting into November, a lot of stuff from Make Toys says it should be coming out in November. So pretty much anything that they have that's a seeker should be coming out in November. Now, I don't have a problem with them putting out the same mold in all these different colors and them all hitting around the same time, which seems like it makes sense. They're generally between 150 to 160 depending on where you buy it and order it. But here's the purple one, and I do think that the purple one does kind of look pretty good. I kind of think of it as a rainmaker in a way, but that's just me. Here is a not Thundercracker blue one, and it looks pretty interesting. So for whatever it is the Ion Swarm Convention exclusive, and so that one is up for pre-order also. So if you want to get in on that one, so I gotta say, Make Toys I still think wins in the paint department. Out of every one of the Seekers, it has the best looking presentation of paint, in my opinion. I just think that the design is starting to become a little outdated. Okay, so I'm looking to see here that they still have their cone heads up for pre-order, which is a very good sign, but they're supposed to be released sometime this year. It actually says August on the cone heads, so yeah, that's not happening this month. So I still have hope for Make Toys and their cone heads, but will they hit by the end of the year? I don't know. Probably not, but I would like to see them. I'd also, there's a whole lot I'd like to see from Make Toys. I'd still like Make Toys to come out with their headmasters before Fans Toys. Give Fans Toys some competitions. Give us a lower price point expectation, all that kind of stuff. But it's probably not in the cards. I still think these cone heads will happen. Probably not this year, though. So I find this is an interesting sort of take that X-Transbots, their Magnus, the toy-colored version on the left, seems like it's going to be coming out before the one on the right, which is more screen accurate, I guess. So the left one is saying it's going to be out in November. So I don't know if that's actually going to be something that comes out in November. The other one's slated for first quarter of 2023. So to me, it doesn't make sense because I think that X-Transbots piggybacks production runs. So basically, all the molds right there, they're producing it. If we're going to produce multiple different colors, they're going to do it around the same time during that production run. It makes a lot of sense. It's a really good business strategy. I'm all for it. And it gives them a reason to make, instead of making 6,000 of the same color, they break them up into smaller runs per color, and that makes a lot of sense. But if you have two separate release dates for the identical figure with just different color, that makes no sense. Anyway, I hope to see one of these by the end of the year. We have Takara's Dia Burn, and that's just going to be a reissue of the Skids mold, and it's Diaclone colors, something along those lines. So this should be out in November also. And the thing about this is that Takara almost always nails their release date. In fact, Takara gives you a date. They don't even say ships on this month. They ship on this date. So if you pre-ordered it through, say, Amazon Japan, they'll tell you the exact date it's supposed to ship. And if it doesn't ship that exact date, then they'll send you some sort of a message. It's usually a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks at most, longer than the release date. So Takara, you could almost set your watch by their release date. So I expect to see this in June, but I guess we'll be testing. November. We'll be testing that in November. Also in November, we're supposed to see Rekgar up for reissue, and so this is one of those that every time they put this guy up for sale, he sells out. Sometimes they lower the price a little bit, but he always sells out, and that's one of the things that I, for the longest time, didn't have when I passed on him, and I waited for a reissue, and I finally got a reissue, and mine's a reissue. So I'm happy to have him. He looks fantastic, but they're also supposed to have these guys out in November, and then this is kind of what I'm saying. If they try to put all these out around the same time, they use a lot of part swapping or similar parts, and so it makes a whole lot of sense that all these would come around the same time. It's logical to me in my head, but shouldn't the repainted ones come at the same time also. But anyway, KFC X-Transbots, similar. There's some differences to them, but for the most part, the KFC, in my mind, is the premium company, and then X-Transbots was the cheaper ones, but now X-Transbots is putting out premium versions. But these look great, and I don't know if these are reissues or if these are absolutely new molds. Like, they're not new molds, but new characters made from that mold. So going into December, bad news, but I really thought by the end of the year we'd see Berserker, or of course their version of Blitzwing, and I don't think we're going to see Fans Toys Blitzwing. In fact, I don't know what's going on with Fans Toys. I know they're doing a lot of reissues, so a lot of reissues are in there, and of course their Aussie just now coming out, so I don't really know between the next 4 months what they're going to have put out, and I'm sure somebody somewhere has some sort of inside list on that. Maybe that'll show up in my comments, but I will tell you what I know about. They're doing toy versions, and so this toy version of Thomas should be out in December, and I just now received my toy version of their Galvatron, their Sovereign, and so I'll be reviewing that this upcoming week. And so pretty exciting too, just because that's pretty decent mold and a lot of stuff that they're reissuing and all this stuff. I don't know if the third-party KOs are affecting anything with Fans Toys. Fans Toys seems to be kind of slowing down their output just a little bit. I mean, Ozzy is coming, he's on the way, and there's more on the way, and then we just got this. But I'm wondering how many of these reissues they're going to be doing, and before they put another figure out, and of course, where's Blitzwing, and of course, where is Dead End. Of course, my face is still blue from talking about Fans Toys and the combiners and that whole situation. And I'm truly not upset, and I'm not impatient or nervous about it at all. I think they're going to work it all out. It's going to be fine. At the end, it's going to be, okay, this was worth the wait, but I don't think it's going to happen by the end of the year. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry. I expected it would happen by the end of the year. I joked it wouldn't, but it's not looking very good right now. Now, Gigapower Grassor, I think this is definitely going to happen. I think it's definitely going to happen. So this one here, the HQ02. And again, Gigapower reissuing the same stuff that they've been reissuing before. So very nice looking figure overall. I have this one, so I'm pretty happy about it. I think it's either the chrome or the metallic, one of those two. I'm just looking at the picture right now, and I just can't remember which one they said it was. But it should be coming up. So if you're really interested in filling out your Dinobots, then check out Gigapower between now and the end of the year. And they do kind of stay in stock for a little bit, but not forever, so it's a pretty good value in my opinion. Okay, so there's another one from X-Transbots that I actually do think is going to come out by the end of the year, and that is Jansen Youth version, simply because they've already made their Jansen, and mine was fine. A couple of people had some minor issues with theirs. I hope whatever issues that they had work out. Nothing on mine's broken. I have no issues. I might have a couple of scratches here and there because there's so much paint, but I'm tempted. I'm not gonna lie, I'm tempted to get this one because it looks like a deeper, darker red, and I want to see it in person, not just this render. But at the end of the day, they've already made the figure. It's just going to be different color scheme. So last on the list is the MP56 Trailbreaker coming from Takara. And love Takara or hate Takara, they're going to have this thing by December. It'll be here by the end of the year. Depending on where you order it, I mean, I might not see mine till January 16th or something. But it'll be sometime in December that it's released. So I truly trust that this figure is going to come out. And he doesn't look that bad. I mean, you're going for the Super Ultra Tune or whatever. So I'm in on this one. It's a price relatively well, $156, pretty much everywhere you order it. And that's a pretty decent price. I don't know if you guys noticed, but a lot of places are knocking the prices of the Fans Toys one down to about $150 now. So pretty interesting there too. But this guy does look good. He does have his opportunities. I want to get him a hand before I completely say nah, yay or nay. And even if I just leave them in alt modes for alt mode comparison kind of stuff, I mean, that alt mode looks fantastic. So I actually do think from this render, or this picture, I don't know if this is render or not, this picture, that it does look better than what Fans Toys did. But I don't know, is it the best? I mean, MMC and X-Transbots, their alt mode was really fantastic, but is this one the best? It might be. I mean, that blue, that's that Takara blue on the windshields. So sad to say there's not a whole lot coming for the rest of the year, but at the end of the day, I mean, I really don't want to go broke by Masterpiece Transformers for the rest of the year, and I do want to get a couple of gems between now and then to just make the line fun. So I think that what's coming is a decent amount. It's not too much, and it's not too little. It's just enough to keep my appetite going, and I don't know if you feel that way. Do you feel that way? Are you excited about any of these releases? Is there anything that you're 100% sure is coming by the end of the year that I didn't talk about? And does anybody have this master release list of fans toys I hear about once in a while, let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Type Hanger out.